Same woke people who, like our vice president, told you to have a great long weekend, and the president who said, stay cool this weekend, folks. They're running the Pentagon, they're running the VA, they're running the military, they're running all this stuff, and they're all woke from top to bottom. We got the latest example here. There's a bill running through Congress right now which would change the motto of the VA, as if that's the biggest problem in the VA, is changing the motto to make it more woke. Robert Wilke is here. He's the former secretary of the VA. What is the motto of the VA? What has it been for all these years?
Well, it is taken from the second inaugural address of Abraham Lincoln, the one delivered a few weeks before his death, the shortest presidential inauguration. He called on the nation to repent, and the quote that is in every VA hospital and in every cemetery is to care for him who shall have borne the battle and for his widow and orphan. We've actually put the longer quote with the more famous beginning in an initiative that I started about a year and a half ago in all of our VA cemeteries to remind Americans of this continuum that began with Abraham Lincoln and lives to this day. VA was born in that speech. Lincoln, I think, delivered the most biblically righteous address in the history of the United States. And he set us on a course for what he believed, and I think history has borne out to this day, that we were the last best hope of man on the earth. Very proud of that. And the sad thing is, this is now the second attempt to take away Mr. Lincoln's words in the name of inclusivity and the notion that Lincoln was a sexist. It failed in the last Congress because Mitch McConnell wouldn't let the House bill come out. But it is making its way through the House, and I have no doubt it will pass again. And the Republicans are supporting it as well in the House.
I think Lisa Murkowski, I believe in the Senate, was one of
in the Senate. That's right.
Bill, if I read that right, which is bonkers. So this will pass, and same with all this woke mob stuff. They just keep going and going and going until eventually they jam it through. So what's the problem with the line to care for him who shall have borne the battle and for his widow and orphan? What's the issue? Well,
it certainly doesn't meet the dictates of the cultural nihilists who are rampaging through the country. I talked about what's happened just in New York City in the last few weeks when the mayor, who certainly went after Columbus, wanted to remove the statue of Theodore Roosevelt in front of the Natural History Museum, denied a permit to veterans to march on Memorial Day. The only reason they were allowed to march is that he backed down once the courts indicated that they were going to overrule the mayor's decision. But there's something deeper here. Those who can write the past control the present, and our entire ethos is under attack. President Trump said that when the Robert E. Lee statue was attacked in Richmond, that this was the low-hanging fruit. Because Jefferson and Lincoln would be next, and they certainly are. This vision of America as irredeemably racist, a fallen nation, is antithetical to everything that has happened in the years since the freedom was declared in 1776. I like to quote Harry Truman when he said that this is the only nation in the history of the world to lend a helping hand to all the peoples of the world, including its enemies. That's a little simpler than Lincoln's last best hope of man. But when you think about it, this is the only country in the world where people are fighting and dying to get to.
Wow. That was deep and insightful. I want more of that. Like, subscribe, get more.